I'm sure you've seen on the internet, you've got this new 2.5D or 3D, whatever you want to call it, Pokemon games, red, yellow, and blue. And it brings back a lot of nostalgia of when I used to play when I was younger. Now, as you can see, I've got on my M4 Pro Mac Mini, I've got the game running. On my iPad Air, I've also got the game running. And on my iPhone 17 Pro Max, I also have the game running. It almost makes it look like a brand new game, and it's brought me back to playing it. Now, although on Android it can be quite simple to sideload an app or a game, when it comes to macOS, iPadOS, and generally iOS, we have to jump through a couple more hoops. But in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. It shouldn't take you 5 minutes of time. I'll tell you exactly what you need, and that way you'll be able to play your favorite games, or if your Pokemon is your favorite game, on your various different devices. So let's check it out. Right, so before I show you how to install it on your iPad, it's going to be the same method to install it on your iPhone, which I've got the actual game running right here. And some things you're going to need is an iPhone or an iPad running some of the latest software out, a free side loading tool such as SideStore, which I'm going to show you how to install in this video. You're going to need the Gen 1 Recomp IPA and the 3D voxel mod zip. Both of them are going to be linked in the description box below. And you are going to need a legally obtained Pokemon ROM. Now, of course, for my ROM, I extracted it from the cartridge I've been saving for the last 20 years, which I'm sure you're going to do the exact same thing. So step number one is you're going to need to go on your device you're going to play the game on. So whether it's your iPad or your iPhone, go to the App Store and find the app called Local Dev VPN. As you can see, I've already installed it. Once you've installed it, open it up and press connect. It's going to ask you to allow, and mine's already connected. Step number two, you're going to need to download the files, so the Gen 1 Recon file and the voxel mod file, which can both be found in the description box below. Step number three now is you're going to need a Windows or a Mac to be able to connect these devices to with a USB-C cable and download the iLoader app, because the iLoader app is what we're going to be using to get this SideStore app on the device. So let's go over to my M4 Pro Mac Mini and let me show you that. So once you've downloaded iLoader onto your Mac and you've opened it up, you're going to see a page like this. It will probably say no devices found because you haven't connected the USB-C cable yet. So now what you're going to do is connect the USB-C cable to the machine of choice, whether it's a MacBook or Mac Mini, whatever it may be, to the machine you're installing the actual game stuff on, which are going to be the iPhone, the iPad. I've got the iPad here, so it's going to come up with trust. So when I press trust and put the code in, now on iLoader it should pop up that it's found the device I've actually connected. So if we press refresh, you can see that it's found the iPad over USB. I'm going to press iPad and it's going to ask to trust it again, put the code in again, and now it's been selected. Now you're going to have an Apple ID section here. Bear in mind, for this Apple ID section, you do not need to put in the Apple ID that is on the machine you're installing the stuff on. It can be a completely different Apple ID. Just know that this Apple ID, you're going to have to keep the same Apple ID and password to log into the machine for the actual app. So now that we're logged into iLoader with my Apple ID account that I've chosen and we've selected the device, we're going to go on to SideStore Stable, and when we press that, it will start installing SideStore onto the device. It can take about 5 minutes for the first time of it to happen. So if it does take a while, don't worry. Now we can dismiss. And we should have SideStore on the iPad now. So if we now go on the iPad, you can see we've got SideStore installed. So now what we need to do is go into Settings, General, and then we need to go and find VPN and Device Management, which is, and then once we have that, you can see this is the one we chose for the iLoader. Press it, go on Trust, and then we have to go to Privacy and Security, scroll all the way down until you see the Developer Mode. Press that and switch it on and restart. So now that all the hard stuff's done, what we have to do is make sure go to Local Dev VPN and you're still connected. Then go to SideStore, and once you see the My Apps section, you're going to go Settings. There will be an option to log into the iCloud account that you linked on the iLoader. So it doesn't necessarily, like I said, have to be the one that's on your machine. It just has to be the same one you used on the iLoader app on your macOS. So once you've got that, you've got the SideStore on there, tap the 7 days. Then we're going to go to the plus here, and you're going to find that Gen 1 Recomp IPA that is linked in the description box below. Press that. That's essentially the almost like emulator, but it's the app we're going to use to actually load up the game in and be able to play it. So as you can see, the loading bar up top, we've got the Gen 1 recomp. Press that 7 days again, and now it should be installed right there. So now what we're going to do is press that Gen 1 recomp, and something to note is usually these ROMs come in zip files. Every time I've tried it in zip files, it says import failed. So when you go and import ROM, you actually want, that's the zip file. When I press that, it doesn't work. But when I actually extract the zip file, got the folder, and I press the file, then it loads up and it starts working. Now, before we do anything else, now we can go to this section here, and we're going to import that 3D mod, which is the 3D voxel mod. So I've also got that in this Pokemon folder. So the dramatic shape 1.6. This one seems to work in a zip format, so it's on. Now we can go in Pokemon Red, and something you can adjust is if you press touch controls, you can adjust where you want the A and the B to be, where you want the start and select to be, how far up you want the actual controller to be, all things that you can always adjust depending on how you feel when you're playing the game to have it nice and comfortable. So done, close, we're going to play Red, and you're going to see that we've got this sound, and then we're going to go options. You're going to go down to colors. We're going to change colors to advanced. Voxel, we're going to change to full, so it takes up the full screen. And zoom, that's fine. And yeah, now we can go back, start the game, new game. As you can see, it takes up the whole screen now. So this bit, I'm just going to try and skip ahead. So right now you can see it is kind of 2.5D. You can change that by pressing select. It changes the different field of view. I prefer it to be not completely like that, but I like it when it's like that. So it gives a nice look to the game. And like I mentioned, if you go to options, you can actually change the colors. So you can have like OG colors. So Pokemon Red, obviously red colors. I like to have the advanced colors just because I think it looks a lot nicer. And then something you want to turn on as well is back sprites. And now you can play the game on your iPad, and as you can see, it works perfectly fine. So like I said, same method that we've just done it for the iPad is the same one I did for the iPhone. Now you can enjoy the different Pokemon games, and I'm definitely going to be playing this. It's kind of brought back a bit of nostalgia when I was a kid. So anyway, that was how you install it. Installing on the Mac is a lot easier. So let me show you how to install it on, say, a MacBook or a Mac Mini, and that shouldn't take a couple minutes. When it comes to macOS, it's the easiest way to install it. You're just going to need those same 3 files you had for the iOS, but the Gen 1 recomp will be the Mac version. Once you've extracted it, downloaded it, it will be in the description box below anyway. You're going to click it. It's going to open up the Gen 1 recomp. We're going to import the ROM just like we did over there. So we have, as you can see, the zip one doesn't work. So I have to unzip this Pokemon Red, or totally my Pokemon Red one. And when we go and import ROM, now we can click it, choose Pokemon Red. Now it's loading up. Now what we're going to do is go to mod, and we're going to take this voxel mod, choose it, it's on, and that's it. Super simple. Then you can adjust the touch controls, press to start playing, whatever you want. But as you can see on macOS, it is a lot faster, and just like Android devices, it's a lot easier to sideload. So if this video did help you, let me know in the comments box below which version you're playing. Is it the red, the blue, the yellow, and which one is your favorite? I'm going to go back to playing some more Pokemon Red. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing to the channel, like the video if you did like it, share it with your friends and family who also might be interested in playing some of their Pokemon games in 2.5D or 3D now in 2026 that they played a long time ago on an iPhone or a Mac or an iPad. And as always, I appreciate your support. I'll catch you on the next one.